Unconditional self-love is so important to everything. The reason that you're here is to awaken in this life. It's to experience the emotions. It's to handle the traumas and to handle the suffering. It's to transcend all of it. It's to, whatever your life mission is in detail, it's to handle all of that and to accomplish all of that. If you don't love yourself unconditionally, then most of that is very, very difficult and challenging to accomplish. So I want to talk to you a little bit more about one of my favorite topics, which is unconditionally loving yourself. So let's get started. Okay, so let's think for a minute. What if you had found the perfect romantic partner for you? This person was everything that you ever wanted. They anticipated everything that you thought ahead of time. They gave you exactly what you wanted for love. They were intelligent in all the right ways. They complemented your skills. Their weaknesses were not even found. They weren't even there. There were no weaknesses whatsoever. I mean, this is pie in the sky, perfect being that doesn't actually exist. But I want you to imagine that it does, that this is the most amazing possible relationship. The sexual aspect of the relationship was absolutely perfect, always exciting, always interesting, always compassionate or passionate, all of that. What would you do? What would you think about that person? I think that you would worship them. That you would have no choice but to essentially worship them because, oh my gosh, how could this person possibly exist? And I like the word worship in this case because it's so powerful. That is a type of love that couldn't be more powerful. That is a type of love that means that really they can do no wrong. You just absolutely worship them. Yes, and I know we're going to get into all kinds of thoughts that people are starting to have about the word worship, and I want you to drop those just for a second. Because worshiping someone else actually could be an amazing relationship, couldn't it? What if you worshiped your partner and your partner worshiped you? That seems like a pretty ideal situation, as long as it's not one-sided, right? Okay, so hopefully you kind of understand what I'm getting at here, and you can really picture worshiping this romantic partner. So that love is an absolute unbelievable love, and it's easy to have that love for someone else because your judgment of them is lighter than your judgment of yourself. We generally judge ourselves really harshly, really terribly, because we know all of the intricate details. We know the times that we were lazy, and we know the times that we decided to do something that we probably shouldn't have, or that we hurt someone else. We remember all of these things, and so we judge ourselves for all those mistakes. So what if you could worship yourself in the same way that you worship that perfect romantic partner? How would that work? Well, in order to do that, you would have to recognize that everything that you are is ideal. It is magnificent. It is just like that perfect romantic partner for you. And how can you do that? Because you're thinking to yourself, well, I'm nowhere close to that. It's because you are that perfect being, just like they were in your imagination. But actually, it's easier to see yourself in that way than it is to find somebody who is actually this perfect partner for you. Why? Because there are only two types of perfection that exist. There's the type of perfection that is without flaws. And that's the one that most people think of when you think of the word perfection. And it's the one that your parents wanted you to be, and your teachers wanted you to be, and your bosses wanted you to be. There is a type of perfection that is without flaws, supposedly, right? Well, actually, there isn't. There is no such thing. No type of perfection like that exists anywhere in the universe. But there's another type of perfection. And that's perfection with flaws. And those flaws are perfect. That means that that person or that individual has never made a mistake in their entire life. Everything that they've ever done has been perfect, and it's gotten them to right where they are right now. That's you. You have never made a mistake. You think you have, but you haven't. Everything worked out exactly as it was supposed to. If you believe that you've made a mistake, then you're actually insulting the universe, because the universe, all of existence, doesn't make any mistakes. Everything that happens in the universe is perfectly planned out. It's planned out by you, this incredible source being that you've forgotten that you were source and became one of these little limited incarnations so that you could find unlimitedness. So to say that you've ever made a mistake, to say that you're not perfect, is insulting the universe, saying, universe, you got everything else right, but you screwed me all up. Impossible. It's impossible. You as source, you weren't like cooking up all the different lives and then you came to this life that you are now, this incarnation, watching this video right now, and you were like, whoops, I added too much, ice cream to the spaghetti sauce. Like, what? No, you don't make mistakes when you're creating all that exists. You don't make mistakes. You are perfect with perfect laws. So you can love yourself. You can worship yourself, because what you created when you made yourself and when you made me and when you made your family and every single other person, being, tree, plant, dolphin, life, planet, extra-dimensional being, angel, everything was perfect. So, not only do I love you unconditionally, but I worship you for the perfect being that you truly are. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you'd like to watch more awesome videos, perfect videos, then you should subscribe to my channel and you should like and comment and all that blah blah YouTube stuff. Why? Because YouTube is perfect also. And so is everything else. Everything. Facebook. What? Why would I say Facebook is perfect? There's lots of people that hate Facebook. Why would I say that all the terrible things that are happening in this world are perfect? Because they are. Because you created them as source. Because the universe doesn't make mistakes in what it creates. You just have to figure out why you're experiencing it as a negative experience. Why are you looking at the things that are wrong with this world and you're beating yourself up and you're beating up the world over it? If you created it perfectly, there's nothing to be upset about. This is an experience that we're all here to have, that we've all created collectively. Doesn't mean we can't save the dolphins. It doesn't mean we can't get rid of the plastic out of the ocean and keep the people from being abused and traumatized, and make sure that they're fed and make sure that they have water and shelter. Doesn't mean we can't do all these wonderful, beautiful things. But it also means that we don't have to beat ourselves up or beat up the world over it, because that just lowers your vibration and it lowers the vibration of the world. Thank you for listening to me. As always, I do love you unconditionally, and I do worship you, and I'll see you in the next video.